Super evening, folks. This is Karthik here. How many of you are live with me now? How many of you are live with me now? Just type live in the chat box, please. If you're here, if you're back, if you're focused, if you can hear me and also see me clearly, just type live, please, in the chat box. Is comment live. Okay? So, how many of you are excited for this year? How many of you have started this year on a very positive note? How many of you have started this year on a superbly positive note? Just type I have if you've started that off. If you've kick started this year in a superbly positive note, then just type I have in the chat box, please. Okay, so awesome. So happy New Year. If you're here, if you're meeting me here for the first time through this live conversation, welcome Saurabh. Great to have you here. If you're meeting me for the first time, welcome. I'm truly happy and honored to have you here with me and to help you gain momentum into this year. Gain momentum into this year. You know what? Last year could have been good for you. Last year could have been not so great for you. Last year could have been amazing for you. But you know what? There is always a next level to what you have achieved. That's what high performers believe in. That's what high performers believe in. High performers are constantly striving to see what is the next level to this. That's what they're constantly asking. And when you keep asking these comments day after day after day, what you're going to have is higher levels of clarity. All right, what does high clarity do? Can you just type in the comment box? What do you think if you gain higher and higher levels of clarity, what do you think that's going to help you achieve? So clarity happens when you have clarity. That means you have gone past the state of confusion. You're not like wandering around. You have some clear thought process and plan of action to take. That's what clarity means. Which means you now start taking action, which leads to higher levels of confidence. When you have higher levels of confidence, when you consistently take action, you move forward and you develop what is called as competence. Competence. Just give me a second. You develop what is known as competence. All right. So that's the competence loop. So the more you work on yourself, the more confidence, therefore the more higher levels of competence that feeds back into building more confidence. So that's how it works. All right. So today you're going to learn 6 essential tips to setting your goals the right way. How many of you know or want to know why is it that you have to set goals? Can you just share in the comment box, please? Why should we even care about having goals or setting it the right way? Can just type share in the comment box. What's the purpose of goals? Why do we even worry so much? Especially during the start of the year, you will see everyone, a lot of people talking about goal setting and doing that and all these things, right? But why is it important? Just share in the comment box. What's your perspective of having goals? If we do not have goals, or if we do not have the right goals, we have nowhere to go to. If on a Google map or on your mobile phone, when you're driving and if there is no destination, which means you can go anywhere, which means you may reach the destination or you may not, which means you don't have any metric to measure if you're going in the right direction or you're just wandering somewhere. That's why it's very important that we have goals. And what goal leads to is growth. Goals leads to growth. And if I have to tell you that one of the 4 core essential things that we want as humans that we truly desire as humans is to have kind of kind of growth. Like we have to feel that we are growing day after day after day. So that's the crucial thing of truly feeling that we have the next level to achieve and go towards. For that, it's important and imperative that we want goals. Yeah, for becoming disciplined and consistent, absolutely, that's very true. All right, so with that note, let me now start sharing what are the 6 essential tips that we need to take care of, we need to have in our mind while setting the goals or while chasing after the goals, which is the one of the ways that has helped me, that has helped worked out for me. All right, so with that note, can I ask you a question? So how many of you want to become rich this year? How many of you are planning to have financial abundance this year? Just type lot of dollars in the comment box if you're ready for financial abundance. If you have set a goal that I want to become rich this year, this is the year I'm going to break through and truly exceed my own expectations when it comes to hitting my financial goals. How many of you are in that zone? So if you are in that zone, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Are you clear about that? Are you clear about that? You know what? A lot of times when we see people setting goals, they set it as I want to be rich, I want to be healthy, I want to have better relationship. But you know what? The fact is that the higher power or the universe, whichever you believe in, you're not sending the right signals or the required signals to let that higher power know that what does that mean to you. If you're not clear, which means even the giver or the universe, the higher power, that higher power is not clear on what should it give to you, what is that riches, that abundance it has to shower upon you. Even universe does not become clear with that. Instead, can you start looking at setting very specific goals? What does it mean for you to be rich this year? What's that number? Can you start thinking about it? Maybe you can share, feel free to share that. But what do you think is that number when it comes to feeling or having uh, that feeling of being rich? So that's the first thing about setting the right kind of goals. So it again goes back to that concept of SMART, where it's very specific. That's the first part. And then we have to look at, can you measure it? Can you measure that? Okay, let's say you want to earn a lakh every month. So can you measure your progress to an extent that you're growing towards your goals, you're building your habits and becoming that person who can start earning that much money in a month's time? So that's like measurable. Your goals, you need to be able to measure them. That's point number 2. If you got this, just type S and M in the chat box. That's specific and measurable. That's the point number 2. Okay, the point number 3 here is okay, it's specific, it's measurable, but is it actually achievable within the time frame that you're setting? Why do you think we have to kind of really set? I'll give you some perspective on this, but why is it important that we also set a goal which is kind of achievable for us? Why is that important? Can you just type in the comment box? You can definitely have big audacious goals that you want to achieve, but smaller goals like quick wins, why do you think we have to set that? I just give the answer in the question itself. Quick wins. So we are someone as humans, right? Like we want to have quick wins when we are chasing after bigger goals and dreams. When you constantly feel that okay, I'm moving towards it through these quicker wins, which means you can truly get to the next stage and the next stage and the next stage. So when you're setting goals, yeah, have a big goal, like truly something that's worth going after, but also start breaking it down to smaller portions so that you can truly start achieving them and start feeling that you are moving towards that. If you got what I'm saying, just type got it in the comment box, please. So it's not just about setting some huge goal, but it should also be achievable. But because if you're constantly going after that, and if you never achieve that big goal, what do you think is going to happen? It's so easy for us to give up on that, right? That's why there has to be also smaller goals, which are achievable for you in short durations of time. Okay, you got it? Just type yes. And the next part of this, which is the R in the SMART, is it has to be relevant. It has to be relevant. When I say relevant, how many times, uh, how many goals that you have set are relevant to the context that you have? It's relevant to the vision that you have for yourself. It's relevant to your family's requirements. Have you thought about that? It's not just about becoming busy this year. It's about having relevant goals. For some, relevant goals can be becoming more healthier. When I say healthier, to put it in a very specific way, losing 10 kgs of weight. It can be building six-pack abs. Then measurable, how do you measure it? Okay, within the next 3 months, I want to lose 2 kgs every month, or let's say 3 kg every month, so that by the end of third month, I'll be at least losing 9 to 10 kgs. Achievable? Yeah, probably it's achievable. Is it relevant? Of course, it's relevant. Is it? Then we come to the next part here, which is the T, okay, SMART, which is time bound. So I just spoke about within what duration of time do you want to achieve it. So this is like a very basic thing of setting goals, which is based on the SMART concept. If you got this, just type SMART. Okay, this is the first point out of the 6 points. This is the first one after the 6 points. SMART, like specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Okay, 5 things. So now let's go to the second point. Okay, if you got it, just type got it in the comment box, please. That's the first part of it. Okay, the second one is, as I spoke about it very briefly, but it's about having 2 kinds of goals, one long term and one short term. One long term and one short term. Can you tell me what happens if you only have short term goals and if you don't have long term thinking? Can you just type in the chat box if you have short term goals? Okay, I want to lose weight in the next 3 months, and then I'll see how I want to improve in the longer duration. What do you think is going to happen? There are higher chances that after you achieve the short term goal, you may just go off track because there is nothing much to achieve beyond that. Whereas if you have a long term thinking, set a long term goal, and then piece it up, chunk it down into shorter term goals, and work from the end point, like work with the end in mind, and reverse engineer your goals, you always have something to look forward towards. That's one of the reasons why you need to have short term goal and then piece it down into long term goal and then piece it down into short term goals. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you only have short term goals, let's say a month from now or 2 months from now, what's going to happen is you might only work on very specific areas of your life. You might work on building your career. You might work on building or improving your health. But what about other areas of your life? And what I teach inside my community is called high performance habits. It's called high performance lifestyle, which is about how do you achieve long term success while having great health, while having great relationship, and while truly feeling that presence and joy and happiness while you're going after all your goals. Because if you're very short term in your thinking and short term in your planning, you will only work on 1 or 2 things. And by the end of the year, I don't want you to be, if you're in this group and if you're live or if you're watching this as a recording, I truly hope and believe that you don't get into a state where at the end of the year, you feel like, hey, you know what? I truly achieved a lot of things in my career this year, but I wish I had spent more time with my family. I truly started gaining momentum when it comes to getting to the next level of leadership positions and roles in my job. But you know what? I did not take care so much about my own health. These are big regrets, and if you keep stacking this up after 10, 15 years, uh, unfortunately, a lot of people have great success in one area of their life, but a lot of other areas they have never given focus to. So if you're getting the power of why you have to have both short, long term and then short term goals, just type powerful in the chat box, please. Just type powerful. Okay, if you I hope you like this thought that if you have long term thinking, you can focus on a lot of different areas and plan your short term achievements and goals towards that. You can build it up towards the long term goals. Okay, that's the point number 2 I wanted to share. If you got it, just type got it in the chat box. So right, so in the comment box. Thank you, Bikash. Really appreciate that. So the next thing you have to truly understand is, it's not just about during the start of the year. I'm superbly motivated. I know I want to make this year the best year yet. I start working on my goals. I really focus on what is it that I want to achieve, and 2 weeks after that, no one knows what happened to that goals. I don't know what happened to that goals, which means having goals is not a one time process. It's not like you just created a goal and the God is going to send someone to help you achieve that. No, my dear friend, you have to make it a daily habit to write and remind yourself of those goals. That's point number 3. You have to truly have this habit of writing down goals on a daily basis. How many of you are truly committed towards doing this? This is a game changer. Like, even if you're not moving forward in a pace that you want to at this point in your life, it can be your career goals, whatever goals that you have set for yourself, simply by writing it down, simply by acknowledging the fact that, hey, you know what? I have this goal that I am after this year. Simply by acknowledging it, you're going to be in a different level of awareness. Sometime you'll be like, okay, you know what? I've been writing these goals, but let me see if I have started working on that. You will have these kinds of thoughts, and those kind of thought leads to next plan. Okay, fine. What's the next plan of action for me now? How can I get here? That's absolutely fine, because you can have absolutely the same goals every day. That's fine. If you've in fact, that's a good thing, right? Because you have one thing to focus on now, one or two or three things to focus on, which is great. I would really say well done if you have really focused down on those 3 or 4 goals that you are writing every single day. That's absolutely fine. That's a great start. Don't think anything beyond that. But it's not about when you write goals every day. Don't try to go back and see and write. Just let the flow happen. All right, it's a flow. It's a process of flow. But make sure you set a specific time on a daily basis so that you sit down, preferably write it down. Like, have a pen and paper. Don't have digital goal writing. Goal writing is a very powerful process. So write it down on your physical notepad with a pen. Okay, if you got this, just type yes in the chat box. So just let it flow. But it's how is it driven? How are these goals that you're writing? What is driving them? Your long-term vision, your short-term planning. Okay, there has to be something that has to drive. It cannot be like random. Your goal cannot be like, hey, October of this year, I'm going to land on Mars. That cannot be the goal, right? I mean, it can be a goal, but you know what I'm saying, right? It has to be driven by the direction that you want to get into this year. So that's how you have to start thinking. So that's the third thing, all right? So we set SMART goals. We have short-term, long-term goals. Now you have also thought about writing your goals every single day. What's the fourth thing? What do you think is the fourth thing to this? Fourth step to this? What do you think is the fourth step to this? Can I just keep writing goals, keep my hands tied up, just keep wondering something, the apple is going to fall on my head and I'm going to discover gravity? You have to go to the next step, which is about getting a plan. Just type. Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you. So that's what it is, right? So you cannot simply just keep sitting there. So you have to go and get a plan. So when you get a plan, while you're trying to get a plan, so this is what usually happens. So right, so we are so many times told on this fact that, hey, you know what, figure things out. Just take action every day. Like just keep trying hard, keep working hard. But can you guess what's a smarter way of getting a plan? Can you just think and let me know in the comment box? What's a smarter way of getting a plan or having a plan? Here's the secret: go get one from someone who already has the plan. That's it. All that you have to do is just go find someone whom you can resonate with, whom you know that this is the path you want to take. Just go get their plan. Because why is it important? My dear friend, if no one has told you this, we don't have all the time on this planet to keep wondering what's the next plan of action. We don't have all the time on this world. It has to happen very fast. The faster you have a plan, the faster you put into action, the faster you're going to get into the results. So that's what it is. All right. So that's the next step. Make a plan, or much better, go get a plan. When you think about this, right? So when you think about uh, a lot of times, right? I unfortunately people have a lot of times we have. I have had this. I have also had this thought process that, you know what? How am I going to figure this out? When I did my personal development work, I realized that if I'm only thinking about how can I solve this problem and not reach out to people, it means I'm discounting the fact that so many millions of people on this planet, live or dead, have already gone through the same problem that I'm facing now, and they have solved it. That's the fun part. You're not alone in this, my dear friend. People have solved exactly the same problem that you're facing now. It's already solved. You know what? You just have to go and get the plan. That's it. You just have to find the right people. Uh, is books the right way of gaining this knowledge? Hundreds of books. You think videos are the way? You have lots of videos. You want to get into more focused execution? Get a coach. You want other modalities of doing? Go be part of some mastermind. Find that community. All I want you to acknowledge that the solution is there. You don't have to suffer alone with this problem. If you got this, just type, I got it in the comment box. I truly want you to understand this fact. It's already there. You just have to go and figure that out. Okay. Yeah, it's a commitment. It's a commitment, but ultimately it's about that, right? We have to be committed in one way or the other to solve the problem. So that's the next thing. So now let's say you got a plan, you got some plan. So now what's the next thing to that? How do you go and now you're setting the goal, and it's also about achieving goal, right? So how do you go and make sure it's working? Tracking, right? The very next very important thing after having the plan is tracking. You have to measure your progress. You have to truly measure your progress. You cannot, your boss or your manager at your company or organization, they want to see the progress, right? You can have great thoughts, you can have great ideas and all that, but ultimately they want a plan that you want to put into action, and they want to see the progress. Just like that, even in your life, when it comes to setting goals and achieving it, you want to see the progress. If you want to see the progress, because one, you want to know if you're truly committed and going towards it, and two, you want to know if it's working. Let me tell you that everything that we set when we go after may not work, but at least when we have that quick feedback on what's working and what's not, at least we can save the time and kind of pivot into the next kind of strategy or next kind of plan or next kind of coaching or anything of this sort. So that's why you have to keep tracking the progress. Yep. Just type, got it in the chat box. So I have set a goal. So now I'm from Mysore. So I want to go from Bangalore to Mysore. Okay, what's the plan? I can go by car, by road, or I can go by train. All right, I'm going by car now. Okay, so let me track the progress. By on road, maybe it takes 4 hours for me to reach there. Okay, 150 kilometers. So every 1 hour, around 45 kilometers. If I'm tracking, if I'm covering, okay, that's great. I'm progressing, and I might reach that goal in 4 hours. But all of a sudden, let's say there's some roadblock happened there. I'm going, and there's a roadblock happened. What should I do now? There's some challenge that I face now. Do I say, okay, I'm going to stay here for the next 24 hours till this roadblock gets cleared? Or should I be flexible and navigate and find a different way? What do you think I should do? Just type flexible in the comment box, please. That's the next point. Okay, that's the next point. To be flexible towards where you are doing, take diversions. Be fixed on that goal, but be kind of have that flexibility to change the path and achieve that goal. Yeah, when you're changing the path, when you're taking direction, it has to still be driven by your values and your long vision, the long-term thinking and all that. If all this are happening, you're going to rock it this year. So let me ask you this question: have you signed up for my live masterclass that's coming up tomorrow? If you've not yet done it, let me just give you this link. All right, so it's called Karthik.coach. That's KARTHIK.coach/ that's the backslash live. Karthik.coach/live. And please be part of that. Tomorrow at 11 a.m., that's Saturday at 11, I'm going to be helping you understand how by implementing the high performance habits, you can have better clarity, better energy, raise your psychological necessity, be superbly productive, and 2 more high performance habits like demonstrating courage and truly being influential so that you can become a leader in whichever area you choose to. If you are keen on that, Karthik.coach/live, and please be there. All right, tomorrow at 11. If you noted, just type signed up in the comment box. Why is it important? Because now you're understanding about goals. Now you want to know what are those habits, because ultimately it's the habits that's going to help you create the result. Right? So understand and learn how by implementing high performance habits can truly help you accelerate this journey of reaching your goals faster, happier, with people, like-minded people just like you who are on the same path. The journey, when it's going to be beautiful, can you type in the chat box, when do you think journey is going to be beautiful? When you have like-minded people traveling along with you. That's what makes the journey much more beautiful. All right. So with that note, I truly hope this helped. I truly hope now you have much better awareness and clarity on how do you set goals and what are those mindsets, what are those pointers that you have to think about towards achieving them. If this was useful, just type useful. And I really hope and wish to see you live tomorrow at 11 in the live masterclass. And it's time for us to truly unlock this year into the best year that you have ever experienced. All right, that's the intention for me. So thank you so much. I think we are on time. Thank you so much for being here and spending this time live with me. I'll catch you soon tomorrow, and a lot more live sessions coming up. So stay tuned for all those things. Thank you. Have a great year, and let's rock it this year. Thank you, guys. Really loved your comments and all. Thank you. Take care.